right, I'm coming back.
Is this you, Christal? You got your Alrighty then. You know, African American women are a major economic force within America. Nielsen, the reporting agency that measures media ratings and consumer trends, forecasts that by 2021, black women will be driving total black spending power toward a record $1.5 trillion. And we have a very special her Wintrust today. And that, what you heard, that song, was by our guest, and she does everything. Another phenomenal woman. And today we're talking about generational wealth. Her name is Christal Luster. That name Luster ring a bell? She is a Chicago-based singer, songwriter, published author, speaker, and entrepreneur. She specializes in folk, blues, and contemporary Christian genres. She's a freelance worship leader and fronts a blues and rock band, both out of Homewood. In 2016, Christal released her latest EP, Expression, which is composed of original songs and poems that she gave the listener an inspirational message drawn from Christal's life. And now she hails from the well-established entrepreneurial family of the Lusters, of course, hair care products. And Christal has been groomed to be an entrepreneur since birth. So she's going to tell us what she is part owner of, which I have used her products actually. And just to let you know, today she just released a record. Christal, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're part of the Luster family. You married to Steve Luster?
No. Oh God.
No, which one did you marry?
I am a Luster by birth.
Oh, you're a Luster by birth.
So
okay.
Steve Luster is my father.
So what is it like to grow up with a family whose name is just, you know, everybody knows about Luster products. I mean, I would have that pink oil everywhere, you know, in the house and that sort of thing. And that is something that Mr. Luster really did well. And that was find a way for generational wealth. So tell us, what is it like growing up in a situation like that?
You know, it's really interesting. 9 times out of 10, my reputation as a Luster precedes me all the time. Anytime anyone says Luster, like Luster products, like pink oil, and so
and everybody's on that pink oil.
Oh
right?
yeah, everybody. It's a household name, you know, and so I find that it has given me, you know, a push in a lot of right directions. I've had some people allow me to walk into some doors because of the reputation that my uncle built through Luster products, and then even now as my father built the legacy of our company and the brands over the years. And you know, my sister, my brother, and I, we own Essations, and so the name, it carries weight and it carries a responsibility though. And I think that's the thing, just knowing how those two things work together, where you have this notoriety and this opportunity that comes to you because of this name and what it represents, but also the responsibility to keep it and to uphold its legacy is a lot.
So let me tell you this. So obviously your uncle did something right, and everybody that was came behind him. And that is because there are a lot of individuals that were black business owners who had built these great institutions, like Perri Smalls and WVON and Lyndon Johnson Rice and Ebony Magazine and Fashion Fair and all of that. And of course, the Gardeners and their products. And then there's you guys too, the Lusters. It was so, and I was good friends with Freddie all through, you know, high school and college and that sort of thing. But this is the interesting thing. all of you saw your legacy and you kept working through that legacy. Do you know how many people have walked away from the legacies that their family members have built and they just don't have the passion?
Yeah.
How did you keep the passion, and how is it that all of you, for the most part, have kept up the passion of the legacy of the Luster name and the products?
You know, it's interesting that you say that. That's been a topic of discussion for the entire week. Legacy is really huge with my family. We believe in leaving something behind and breaking the stereotypes, especially within African American communities, that all we leave are bills or debt. My family has always instilled leaving something for the people that are coming behind us, for the children and the grandchildren. And passion is an interesting thing. People can be passionate about different things, and it may not even be directly related to the cause at hand. The real passion is leaving legacy. The real passion is leaving generational wealth. For me, I have my hands in so many different things. I'm a creative at heart, and I love everything creative, which is interesting because I'm part owner of a hair care manufacturing company. I can do my own hair, but I don't really do anybody else's hair.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that hair care is necessarily my passion, but my family is my passion.
Oh, wow.
And
Said.
Doing something that will carry on and echo in this world for what my family, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the time, the money, everything that we poured into it, it'll say we were here and we made a difference, a positive difference. And that's what I think is the passion that carries those businesses that have withstood the test of time.
How did the people that came before you, how did they get you guys to understand the importance of legacy and your passion? Did you have to go to work for the Lusters, and at a young age you knew how to learned every aspect of the business? Because it's very easy to have this kind of wealth and legacy, and you spoil your children. If this isn't what you want to do, you don't have to do it. Instead of instilling the fact that this is who we are as a people, as a family, and that what did you do? I mean, tell me what your childhood was like.
It's so funny when people bring up like summer vacation. I'm like, what's that?
Okay.
I literally was born into this business. And when I say that, quite literally, I had a crib at our first office. And from 3 weeks old, I was there. My mom tells me that my first words were, "Thank you for calling. How may I help you?" That was my first phrase. I remember when I was going to St. Benedict the African in Inglewood, I would go to the aftercare program, after like preschool or kindergarten.
Right.
And I remember these conversations. I would have the teacher call my parents, and they'd be like, well, why are you calling your parents? And I'm like, listen, I can't deal with these kids. I have a job. And so my mindset has always been work, and it really spills over into everything that I do. I don't know how to just kind of sit back. I know what it is to do something when it's hard, to do something when it may not be what I want to do at the moment, because I believe in the end goal. I believe in the results, and that's just the work ethic that my parents have instilled in all of us.
So you said your family is your passion.
Yeah.
But you're good at so many things.
Yeah.
You sing like an angel.
Thank you.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Your skin is like peaches and cream. And you've got her hair is so pretty today. We're on Facebook Live. We're gonna have to, pan a little bit to show how pretty Sonia, her hair is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just so proud of you. And when people meet you, are they surprised that you're so young?
A lot of the times, yes. Especially people that have only talked to me through maybe email or, Facebook or even over the phone. When they find out that I'm not even 30 yet, they're just like, wow, and I really...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're not even 30 yet?
I'll be 29 next week.
Oh, wow. Now this is too much. I want you to stop getting these people on. Just kidding. That's wonderful.
I think the biggest thing for it, and again, why I say my family is my passion, I love, and when I say love, I mean this with the most sincerity that I can muster. I love spending time with my elders. I feel like young people, millennials, we don't give enough credit to the wisdom of the people that have gone before us. And it has enriched my life so much to learn from those who have gone ahead of us. I mean, it's incredible, and I'm grateful for the wisdom that I've gleaned from, and which gives me this older appeal, or more seasoned appeal.
More seasoned. I mean, if you were telling your teachers, I can't deal with these kids, that's pretty funny. And so, what is the lesson, or what advice can you give? Because even though you had, I wouldn't say a burden of carrying on the legacy and that sort of, but it's in your psyche. You're still able to do what you love, and that is, you are a very creative person. With the singing and the writing and that sort of thing. How do you pull those two worlds together?
So there are a couple ways that I do that. Number one, I always remember my why. In anything that I do, I try to remember why I'm doing it. And my purpose, I'm a faithful person. I believe in God and I believe in purpose. And I believe that everything that I do should serve a greater purpose than just gratifying myself. And so when it comes to this creative girl who loves everything creative, I mean, I sing, I play guitar, I write, I do spoken word, I'm getting into acting, so many different creative things. Where do I fit into this hair care conglomerate, right? And
I'm glad you said conglomerate, because that's exactly what it is.
I think I realized that it's so important for us to pull the things that make us into the things that we're supposed to be doing. I read this quote one day that said, grow where you're planted. And it's where I'm planted right now. So I just try to grow and give off light and give off oxygen in the best way that I can. And my number one motivation, I think, especially over the last few years, especially in pursuing my creative endeavors. Our oldest sister, Karen, she passed away suddenly a few years ago. That's actually the song that you were playing earlier. I wrote for her.
Right.
And the last conversation that I had with her before things kind of took a turn for the worst, she looked at me and she said, Christal, don't stay here because of circumstance. And kind of a backstory for that, we had been talking about all these different dreams that we had, things that we wanted to do in life, because she was very creative as well. She was an esthetician and a makeup artist and just the best person that I've ever known. She's so kind.
If you don't mind, I mean, she was diagnosed with a serious illness, and 3 weeks later she passed on.
Yes, we found out on September 11th, 2016, that she had colon cancer, and she died October 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nothing that we could have prepared for, nothing we could have expected. And that conversation impacted me because it was in that moment that I knew that she knew that there was a chance she wouldn't make it. And I knew that she had been reflecting on all of the things that she always wanted to do. And you think about the responsibilities of carrying on this legacy and the logistics of it all. It's not just about carrying on a legacy and keeping the name great, but it's the actual work, the grunt work that you do every day that takes away time from things that you might want to do instead of things that you have to do. And so when she said that, I made a promise to myself that I would be diligent in everything that I commit to, all of my loyalties, including my loyalty to my family, but I would also be loyal to the things that matter to me, to the things that I know that I was created to do.
I can't believe you're just 29. And I mean, this is so inspiring. And so let's talk about naked, right?
Okay.
First of all, I do everything naked.
Hey, that's the best way to do it.
So that's my favorite, kind of my favorite word, and that's kind of my thing. Yeah. Tell me how Naked Essations products came to be. You could have been very satisfied just, creating new products for Luster. How did you move into Naked Essations?
Well, so back in the 80s, my father created a company that branded Essations products.
Okay.
And so Essations has actually been out for several decades. And then in 2015, my sisters and my brother and I, we developed Essations Incorporated, and we carried over those brands and developed our own company. And so Naked was actually birthed out of a dream that my middle sister Stephanie had. We were looking for something new and fresh to do as the industry started switching from more relaxers to embracing more of a natural look. And we came up with Naked because it's all infused with honey and almond. And so it was a more natural way to approach hair care and chemical treatments, different things like that.
Right.
And it took off. People just loved the name. They loved the scent.
I love the name.
Everything. Yeah. And it's been truly a blessing to our company, to Essations Incorporated, and my family's legacy, because it's known and it's growing. It's growing.
How many kids are around that are Lusters under 20?
We're getting up there, but there are quite a lot of us. I'd have to say it's somewhere around the 50 range, maybe.
Real?
With all of the great grands, I'm the last person in the second generation. So my dad is that first generation, where Freddie Luster is. He's the the baby of that family, and then I'm the baby of the second generation. And so
there's a lot of procreating
going
on.
Yes, definitely.
You should see the look on Sonia's face. She just got cross-eyed.
Oh, I've got hundreds of cousins.
Really?
Yeah.
This is so awesome. So so where do you see Naked in the next 5 or 6 years? Where do you see Naked in the next 5 or 6 years?
So it's interesting. We've been talking about that a lot, just looking at what we want to do going forward, and we've been really investing time and efforts into trying to build up our retail presence. We've been servicing the professional market for a long time.
So that means that you go directly to
the consumer.
The consumer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because the consumers, they also a lot of times are doing their hair at home. YouTube has kind of changed the game with DIY, Pinterest, different things like that, and people try things at home. And so my goal specifically is to make sure that African Americans have quality products that will treat their hair the way that it needs to be treated. We need moisture. We need products that are not watered down or full of a whole lot of alcohol or empty promises. We need quality products. And so that's been my goal as the director of marketing and online sales, is to just try to cater so much to our retail as well as our professional markets.
Okay, so you said Essations started a few decades ago, and then you came into Naked. Thank God that you come from a family with some financial means. How did you finance Naked Essations?
Oh, that has been a journey as well. So my parents really poured everything that they had into this company.
Okay.
That's really the best way that I can put it.
But see, they had the money to do that.
Yeah.
Because you have dealt with generational wealth.
Yeah.
This is that's what legacy is. This is what we're supposed to do. Each generation is supposed to have another creative mind to be able to do the things that they need to do in order not only to service the public and customers, but also to keep that money flowing in the family.
Yeah, I could definitely say that there has been investments made within our family into this company. And that's such a beautiful thing, to be able to go to your sisters and your brothers and say, hey, I have this idea. I want to pour into this idea. Can you help me? And they say yes. And you see success that way. And you don't have to borrow from banks. You don't have to borrow from places that will put you into more debt and really
make you more beholden to them than the energy you could be putting into the company.
Yeah, and then also quench the opportunity to leave generational wealth, because if you're so busy paying off debt while you are building your business, and you don't have anything to leave over, then you don't have the opportunity to do that same thing. You can't pay it forward.
We're talking to Christal Luster. She is a Chicago-based singer, songwriter, published, author, speaker, and entrepreneur. And yes, Luster, pink oil. That was her dad, the first generation. Well, really the second generation, right? Because
it's the first.
So their first generation.
Yeah. So Freddie Luster is my uncle, and my dad is his youngest brother.
Okay. And so I thought Freddie's father was the first generation.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Freddie that is actually my cousin.
Okay.
I'm in his generation.
All right. So this is so interesting. So you're not beholden. Do you ever have to use your own money for your ventures?
Yes. Absolutely. I am a firm believer that a lack of resources breeds creativity. And so the less money that you have, the more creative you get.
Okay.
And so there have been times where I have actually expanded my knowledge by learning new skills to generate wealth, to generate cash flow for the things that I want to do. So, even as a singer, I needed more content for myself, for my social media, for my website, but I didn't have the money to pay anyone to record me, to film me, different things like that. So I slowly but surely started learning and teaching myself how to operate Adobe Premiere Pro, how to use different softwares to edit film, edit video, and I set up cameras. I recorded my own music video last year, which was really interesting and fun. Did it, edited, recorded it, and starred in it myself.
No, that's awesome.
It was fun. It was challenging, and I did it all in 24 hours. It's probably one of my...
You did it all in 24 hours.
Yeah, it was insane. I was up against a deadline for a competition I found out about really late.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things. And so since then, it's kind of birthed out another venture for myself, Crystal Clear Productions, where
here we go.
I develop video content for business owners, and I specialize in small business owners because I understand their plight. And so I have invested my own money into setting up different websites, into marketing materials, classes, equipment, different things like that. And we've done the same thing. It's the model that was laid out for me.
Well, I just think, I give a lot of stuff to millennials, but I also have grown. And I have, Sonia has brought me some of the best and smartest millennials. The things that you all do, I never would have done them. I was a sloth. All I wanted to do was, just do nothing, and just come do a job every day, and that's it. But the fact that you guys have such a clear idea about what legacy is and how you have shared this. Tell me about your education. Did you go to college or what?
Yes, I actually graduated from Columbia College, Chicago.
And how long ago was that?
That was back in 2012.
So you had a job you're still working for the company, and you're still pursuing your passions, as an artist.
Yeah.
And you've done so much in just 29 years.
Yeah.
What else do you want to do? What else are you passionate about?
Well, actually, I guess I'll let this out as an exclusive.
Real quick.
I want to do films. I want to direct them. I want to write them. I want to star in them.
I'm not sure that you are. How do people find you on social media?
Everything is at Christal Luster. That's Christ, A-L, Luster, L-U-S-T-E-R. It's the shiniest name you'll ever know.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And guys, I just want to leave you with this. People may forget what you said and people may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And you make me feel good, Christal.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
great weekend. See you Monday.
This is Melody's Game.